My name is Maul, and this is my sex playlist. Number 10, Ambré, SWV. Ambré is one of my favorite artists. I love everything about her. And SWV is one of my favorite R&B groups ever. So it was just a no-brainer for me. Ambré's tone and texture of her voice is very soothing, very sexy. Short songs on sex playlists make sense because everybody doesn't have long sex. I was trying to hit all demos of sex when I put this list together. What am I supposed to do after a night like this she don't miss? I mean, that speaks to just having a great night. Like, sometimes you go out on a date with somebody and you don't go into it expecting to have a great time or the chemistry to be all the way there, and then you end up having one of the greatest nights. Like, okay, well, I didn't anticipate or expect it to go this far. I went out on a date with somebody and I had no anticipation of it being a physical thing. Obviously, we were both physically attracted to each other, but sex wasn't something that I thought would happen. But again, we just had such an amazing time, and we both end up saying it like after we had sex, like, I did not anticipate or expect to have sex tonight, but the night was just so, it just flowed and everything just connected, and it just felt like, yeah, this is the moment. This song kind of reminds me of that because again, it is a short song, but sometimes short is good. You don't need to have this long drawn out thing to recognize the chemistry is there, and this is a person that I would like to be intimate with. Number 9, TYuS featuring Cassow, Between Us. TYuS, I think, is super underrated as an R&B artist. When he dropped this project, this record was a record that I played into the ground. And everybody that I introduced to this record, they tell me to this day, like, yo, that song is so dope. The project is amazing. Like, this dude, you put me on to him. This song, Between Us, is a sex playlist, so this should be between us. This sex, this moment, this time should be between us. I had an amazing sex video, but this song actually played. Yeah, I remember that because she never heard the song. She texted me and was like, yo, now every time this song plays on my playlist, I just start laughing because that's the song that's playing in the video. So it was a real thing. It was inspired by a real moment. Sometimes rap and R&B go well together. It wasn't like an aggressive rap, so it flowed pretty well. And sometimes sex can be aggressive at times. I think that both parties at times enjoy a little aggressiveness in the bedroom. So it just made sense to have just a little change of tempo, change in energy to kind of break up the, the R&B vibe with a little bit of aggression. Explicit lyrics, explicit language during sex sometimes makes for a better experience depending on the mood, depending on the chemistry between you and your partner. So I think that it was just a change in the energy a little bit. Like Ambré gave us, the sweet, sultry, sexy vibe. And now TYuS and Cassow give us still a vibe, it's still great energy, but then we get a little aggressive with the language, the lyrics a little bit. It's just a good mix of maybe what somebody is looking for in the bedroom. Number 8, They, Straight Up. They is underrated and make great music when you talk about sex and creating and setting up certain type of mood. It just was a song that was in my rotation that I thought was super dope, and I love the vibe and the energy on it and what they're talking about. So this record is a record that people will play and add to their playlist. They has a lot of songs throughout the years and a lot of records that people, I think, go back to. And I think that they're criminally underrated when it comes to R&B. I've had a girl tell me she's with somebody else now, and I had her hit me up a couple years ago and tell me that she was with the guy that she was with and they were getting intimate, and a song came on that I introduced her to. It's crazy when you think about it, but she had to think about me in the moment with a new guy because the song that came on, I introduced her to that record. And we laughed about it because we're cool to this day, but it was an awkward moment, but it was valid. That's why I think playlists and sharing songs are so important. Like, a lot of people say it is a love language to share music and to share records with people, because no matter what, if you find a record that you love and you like, you cannot speak to the person anymore at all. But wherever you are in the world, when that record comes on, you will think about the person that introduced you to the records. I think a lot of great sex is you find that right rhythm with your partner, and I think that makes for a better experience sexually. And putting this playlist together, I'm just trying to think about all of those parts of sex where sometimes you want to go slow, you want to speed things up a little bit, you want to get a little aggressive. That was the reason I put this record there, to kind of just switch the tempo up a little bit and a little more rhythm, a little more movement happening. Number 7, St. John, Some Nights. St. John has a lot of dope records. He's known for a lot of his up-tempo, kind of performative records where the crowd is going crazy. I think that a lot of people that know Saint and have been following him for a while know that he can get really into his slow-tempo R&B bag. The first time I heard this song was actually, I like to ride around New York at night. Sometimes like the West Side Highway is a really nice drive. And the first time I heard this song, I was actually on the West Side Highway. And I might have played it about 12 times because the music, he was talking slick, but it was like, okay, that was catchy. It was one of those records that that just stuck with me from his first project that I think that I go back to probably the most out of his catalog. In having sex and experimenting, if you're with the right person and the right partner, they are able to bring certain things out of you and able to make you feel certain things that you probably never knew you could feel or that you would even like or be into. So again, some nights, I might be into this. Some nights it's like, nah, that's not really my thing. Some nights let's just chill and kick it. Some nights let's get crazy. Some nights let's just enjoy each other's presence and just have some conversation. The last time I had one of those experimental nights, this St. John record definitely was not playing. That's another thing. I don't think I like to play music from people that I know on a personal level when I'm having sex. It's kind of weird. Turn this off. Like, let's go to the next one. Like, that's my homie. I don't want to hear his voice. The last time I had one of those experimental nights, I was in a hotel. We were on the balcony and we were just literally just having conversation, laughing and kicking it. The conversation came up like, yo, if you was to have sex on this balcony, like the balconies are so close, your next door neighbors might be able to see you. I think I said like, who cares? And we ended up getting into it, having sex. And another couple came out on their balcony, literally right across from us, and were just like watching and was just like, cheers to us. Like, it was like one of those moments where it was like, yeah, we're adults here. We know what goes on these balconies at 2 a.m. Like, who doesn't? Number 6, MAETA, Sex. I think MAETA is extremely talented. She has a voice that I think is going to be around for a very long time. And this is a throwback kind of to like one of my favorite Spike Lee movies, Girl 6. And she said in Girl 6, 6 for sex. You can't spell sex without X. And obviously if somebody's your ex, y'all had sex before. So it makes sense. Sometimes you've had some of the greatest sex with an ex. Sometimes you miss sex with an ex. We've all had intimate moments with somebody that we're no longer with that we kind of still think about and kind of reminisce about. Hopefully you're not in a new relationship thinking about sex with an ex, but if you are, that means it was unforgettable. So either way, I think it's a beautiful moment and a beautiful experience that people have had and they don't want to forget about. So doubling back to your ex, I think that that's something that we all have probably done before, and even though we stand firm on it, I'm never going back, it's over. Yeah, you can say that, it sounds good, but I've doubled back to women that I've dated that I've said that I would never go back to. Sometimes we're all socially lazy. Sometimes it's easier to go back to what you know, to an experience that you enjoyed versus trying to get a new experience and then it's not enjoyable, it's not what you wanted or expected, and then now you're disappointed and not fulfilled. Sex with an ex, I think if it's an ex that you obviously you're going back to somebody you enjoy, I think that it makes for kind of a funny moment too. Like I think both parties would laugh at that, just kind of enjoy that, like, yeah, here we are, even though we probably both said we were done and never gonna deal with each other again. I haven't had that moment, but maybe I should. I don't know, maybe I need to go down my Rolodex and see who's still single and willing to go to dinner. Number 5, Naomi, Sharon, Another Life. I think this is the closest we will probably get to Sade. I think Naomi is super talented. Everything that she was saying, you can resonate with it. It kind of sticks with you. You understand it. Again, the music, the tempo is a little aggressive. The drums on it are a little, aggressive. Back to the tempo of having sex and wanting to change things up and get a little aggressive. But then again, her voice is still sexy and beautiful. So it kind of makes a perfect blend for a beautiful moment. Another Life. Maybe it didn't work out this time. Maybe we're not made for each other in this life. Maybe in another one we can get it right. Love is a silly game, but we still play it. I think that everybody can relate to that. You got to be willing to take that chance on love, take a chance in life. Sometimes it just doesn't work out with that person, but still got to keep playing and still keep moving forward. There's not a lot of lyrics. Naomi is not speaking much. It's not the same for me. During sex, I'm a talker. I like to talk to my partner. I talk her through it. And I think you need that. You need to, because I need to know if you're enjoying this as much as I am. And communication is key. So my most fond memory of this record is the first time that I probably played the album. And me and my homeboy, it was like 4 other girls in the car with us. And I remember playing this album. And when the music is good, when nobody is talking in the car, everybody's kind of just like, chilling, laid back, listening. One of the ladies said, I definitely Shazammed all of these songs you were playing. So that moment was kind of like, okay, cool. 4 ladies, they all loved it, they enjoyed it. A lot of them was like, I didn't even know she put out an album. I don't even know who she is. So it just felt good. Like, all right, cool. I'm putting some women on to dope music and they loved it. And I don't really speak to them anymore. Those weren't like my personal friends, but I'm pretty sure they're still enjoying this album. Number 4, Majid, Jordan, Gave Your Love Away. I think this is one of the dopest R&B songs in the past however many years. Everybody, I think, is familiar with this record. It's a certain vibe, a certain bounce, a certain groove that I think everybody enjoys. You said this would be the very last time that I'll be seeing you. because you don't really want to talk. It's kind of like the ex thing. You still have this love and, you know, respect for each other. And sometimes, again, it's easier to go back to what you know. I think we're all creatures of habit and we all have needs. We all have wants. I think it's just comfortable at times to go back to the person that, you know, made you feel good. And there are different levels. The very passionate sex. There's the very toxic, I hate you sex. I feel like a completely different person when I'm with you sex. I don't ever want to leave you sex. I think you've all had somebody that has made us feel a lot of things sexually, but they probably made you feel more things mentally too. Now, this song I've definitely played while having sex a few times. It just sets the mood. It's an up-tempo, has a nice flow, nice beat to it. It's just something that I think most people, when they hear it, they either already know it, or if they don't know it, they hear it and they love it. It's a dope record, amazing R&B record. I love Majid Jordan. So to me, the most important part of R&B, it's definitely the music. I think music sets the tone, it sets the vibe, it sets the energy. But then you have those certain records that the lyrics match the energy as well in the music. But I think, you know, again, it depends on the person. What do you like? I'm more of just the music and the energy, but I also respect and appreciate when the lyrics kind of match. And sometimes if you're lucky enough, the lyrics actually match the moment. That's very rare that happens, but the production and the music have to be on point, because you can be saying amazing things, but if the music doesn't support that and the music is not strong, then I really don't even care what you're talking about. Number 3, Ecru, You. Ecru, again, is one of my personal favorite artists, and this record from this project I think was a standout song. He's talking slick on there, he got some bars on there, he's getting his slick talk off, and I think that it's such a certain type of move to kind of be a little aggressive but then a little cool at the same time. Text me what you're doing, I'm up in Brooklyn, you know, that's the I'm in your city text, you know what I mean? Probably got a new boyfriend, you know, that's the bait that guys throw out sometimes just to see if, are you single, are you seeing anybody, like, what's up, can I pull up? So he probably drew this from a real moment. It sounded like it, but I think we could all relate to it. To somebody that you probably don't date anymore, but you miss that person, you miss those moments. You're like, hey, let me just see, like, what's up, what you doing? And you can either double back to what you know and what you've had versus somebody that you've been seeing and talking to, and you kind of like, damn, like, we've never had that moment, we've never been intimate, we've never had sex, but I want to, I'm attracted to this person. Me personally, I enjoy new. I would enjoy a new experience with somebody that I've been kind of kicking it with versus doubling back to somebody that I probably shouldn't be doubling back to, because it might just be an overall better experience for you. So on this record, Che says, you probably won't hear this song anyway, but call me back one day or something like that he alludes to. A lot of artists do that, where in their songs, the person probably has them blocked, doesn't talk to them. So they'll write little bars in their music knowing that the person still listens and that the person will know, oh, he's talking to me. Let me speak for the guys. I think most guys have thrown bat signals before. Me personally, I've definitely thrown bat signals. I've done things like, say there's like a restaurant or something a girl introduced me to. I'll be back at that restaurant and just post like a picture of like a glass of wine at the restaurant. Like, she'll know exactly where I'm at when she sees it. It's kind of like, oh, you're being funny. Like, I'll put you onto that spot. Now you're there. And it also kind of alludes to, but who you there with? Because, you know, women don't like introducing you to a spot and then you're there without them. They're like, yo, what are you doing there? Like, the bat signal would have to be via social media. I think it's sick if you take a picture like that and actually send it to the person. I think that's crazy. I've never done that. But I think that, you know, if you do that on your story, depending on how things ended, I think that she'll respond to that bat signal and know what that is. Number 2, SWV, Always on My Mind. I think it just goes back to that one person that you just can't stop thinking about, whether it's an ex, whether it's a current situation. You know, this is the golden era. We're talking about SWV, 90s R&B. I don't know how many times this song has been sampled, but it's been sampled a lot. A record that I think everybody, even if they don't know the original SWV, they've heard this sample and loved the record that they heard this sample on. So this is probably the oldest song that I have on my playlist. You don't see a lot of people talking about SWV on platforms and things like that, and I think that they're one of the most iconic groups in R&B. So I had to put SWV on my list. Coco's voice is one of the sexiest in R&B history as far as I'm concerned. I used to go roller skating and they used to play this a lot at the skating rink. This is one of those songs that they played a lot. They would say backward skaters only. Like when it became like an R&B part of the night, it was like, yo, we need backward skaters only. So it was kind of a flex if you were, you know, able to skate backwards because girls wanted to skate. And it was like, damn, if you know how to skate backwards, that's dope because we could skate together. So I was young. I may have been like 11, 12 years old maybe, but I knew how to skate backwards. And so the fact that I could skate backwards, girls would skate skate with me. So this was like, this stuck out of my head like, yo, like when this come on the R&B set, I'm definitely skating with a girl. So I want to thank SWV personally for that, because I was definitely lit at Skate Key when this song came on. You get older and you start dating and you start, getting into girls and things like that. It hits you like, oh, this is what that song was talking about. I do that a lot. I listen to old songs and watch old movies, and I remember being a kid seeing it and how it resonates differently now being an adult. Like, oh, this is what that was. When you're in high school, when you hit that turn and you start finding out who you are as a person and you really start dating girls and things like that, that's when a lot of these songs start to resonate with you. And you start to really understand the genre of R&B and the culture of R&B and what it means to really love and be in love. You don't really learn those things until, you start to become a little older and have those experiences. Number one, Sebastian, Mikael, and Teyana Taylor, Made for Me. What Sebastian and Teyana did on this record was incredible. I remember hearing this record for the first time, and this was the time where I felt like Teyana was really stepping into her strength vocally. I don't think a lot of people give Teyana her credit vocally, and I think that this record was one of the first ones that I can remember where Teyana definitely performed on it. And Made for Me, if you're lucky enough to find somebody that you feel that deeply connected to where you're able to even say that, or you were made for me, I think it's something that we all kind of wish to have one day. You wish to find that person that you genuinely and wholeheartedly feel like was made for you. And again, you say made for me, I think that that's something that has to be reciprocated. Both people should kind of feel like that. I want you in my life forever. I can't see me living without you. I can't see my life existing without you. I think that it's a beautiful message and a beautiful chemistry. My name is Maul, and that was my sex playlist.